Hey everyone, Matt here. Today I'll be making a ranking of the top 5 healers in the game. I'm going to be ranking them on versatility, splash ability, and their actual healing abilities. So let's begin. First off, we have Maya. Now, Maya, you get her for free. I believe she's actually free even in the Canterbury New Guardian trial, whatever event it's called. I don't know what it's called. But you get her for free there. You also get her for free within the anniversary. So that's really nice. So if you missed the anniversary, you can still get her for free, I believe. And I think you even get her EX as well. If you don't, it's fine. You don't need it. She doesn't need it. If you get it, it's cool, right? It only makes her healing better. It doesn't add, anything new to her kit. So let's look at it. Let's look at her kit. Her party buff is a 90% skill damage buff, and her normal attacks essentially are just basic autos and Wind of Healing. So, Wind of Healing restores HP of allies in front of her and removes negative effects. So, it's essentially a cleanse plus a heal. Her chain skill restores all allies' HP by 50% of her heal stat and removes all their negative effects, increases their crit chances by 20% for 5 seconds. Her special ability, which you unlock once you evolve a character to 5 stars, is when using Wind of Passion, which is her normal attack, restores HP of the party member with lowest HP by 20% of her heal stat. So when you get her to 5 stars fully evolved, she will heal even on her normal attack. Her exclusive weapon pretty much increases this. On Wind of Passion's it inflicts extra 20% of DPS. This negligible, you don't care for this. In case there's a party member on its way, restores the party member's HP by 10% of her heal stat. Once again, as you can see, it's not significant. 10% of her heal stat for most people is going to be like 2,000, 3,000 at most, maybe 4,000s, but those are pretty high numbers. But it's not going to be too much of a heal. In addition to just her base kit's going to heal more. So you don't care for EX weapon. If you get it, it's cool. If you don't, it's whatever. Now, her kit's great. As you can see, there's nothing exclusive to maybe a certain element or exclusive to, a certain attack type or like melee or ranged. It's pretty damn generic. So you can definitely splash her on any team really at any point of the game. As long as you need survivability, Maya's pretty much going to be your go-to character regardless of what point you are in the game. It's a great kit. Her healing's really strong. If you have her EX, it's a bit stronger. I'm not sure on the numbers how much, but it's a decent bit stronger. But you can just go for, once again, any epic basket, normal basket, not normal basket, but specifically legendary baskets. They'll work fine. And I'm struggling to pronounce basket really badly. They'll work fine, so don't worry about it. She's a phenomenal character. Don't invest in her too much, though, like with any healer, with the exception of one. You want to keep her as little to no investment as possible. So what I recommend is actually just dumping her in the training room and focusing on your DPSs instead, because you can just take her in and out of the training room whenever you need her. For example, in case in the future where you're not using her too often, you can just take her out, put a different character in the training room, and you won't have to invest those resources into Maya. Great hero, great character, easily the best healer in the game due to her genericness. Her splash ability can be used on any team, and she's an overall really solid character, especially considering her healing super, super good. Next up, we have Sia. Sea Merchant Sia. She is arguably a worse healer than Maya in the regard of healing. However, let's look at her kit first. So her party buff is a 45% skill damage boost and a 20% attack boost. Her normal attack is just a basic attack, no special effects, and she has another ability. On use, tosses a water bubble to the party member with lowest HP to heal the target, also removes negative effects. So it's her healing plus a cleanse. Her chain skill is restores all allies' HP by 50% of heal and increases all allies' defense by 30% in addition to removing all negative effects. So it's a pretty nice heal of 50% of the heal stat. No, do realize that these numbers, it's of the heal stat, not of the health, right? So her chain skill will heal by 50% of her heal stat, not 50% of a character's health. Some new players do misunderstand that. Heal is a stat. Okay, and healing is based off of that stats. It's similar to attack. However, it's different. Her special ability is when a party member dies, restore the surviving party member's HP by 75% of heal stat, excluding herself. It's not great. It's really not great because you don't want a team member dying in the first place. If team members are dying, it's generally a bad sign of whatever content you're trying to do. You probably want to restart it. However, this is more so a PvP inclined ability as you can't restart a PvP match. However, in PvP, I think there's just better healers for whatever purpose you're trying to accomplish. For example, Maya is, if you're going to run a healer in like Column, Maya, Ascended, Karina, they're just better options. But yeah, that's her basic kit. However, in case you also haven't noticed, we haven't checked out our exclusive weapon yet. So let's see it. It's very, very good. It's way different from Maya's. On Bubble Pop's hit, increases all allies' attack by 30% for 5 seconds. Activates once every 5 seconds. On Bubble Shower's hit, heal HP by 30% of heal for 3 seconds. Now, on Bubble Pop, that's her normal attack, okay? It will increase your entire party's attack by 30%. Just 30% attack buff, not 30% light attack or not 30% water attack. It's a generic 30% buff. So if it activates every 5 seconds once and it stays for 5 seconds, it's essentially a 100% uptime. However, realistically, you're not going to get it on 100% uptime because AI dodging mechanics and stuff are so odd where your AI teammates will just move out of the way and just sit there. But theoretically, and more often than not, it's going to be 100% uptime. So combined with her party buff, that's a 45% skill damage boost. And the most important part and the best part of her kit is a 50% party-wide generic attack buff. Now, I keep using generic because that's a really important fact. Because characters like Eleanor would be broken if they were generic, meaning you have little to no requirements from other characters or for the team. They do things without having other things needed for them, such as, for example, Beth. She needs her EX. However, that doesn't mean she's not generic because she is a pretty generic melee unit. On the other hand, Garum is not a generic unit because his party buff is a water attack party buff, meaning not a lot of units meet that criteria to work well with him. That's the difference. Not needing your exclusive weapon isn't the same as being generic. Generic is having a broad kit that can work with a lot of other characters without needing specific requirements. Her kit is really solid at that. She's super offensive. Her healing is extremely great. It's not anywhere close to Maya's, but her offensive buffs make up for quite a lot of it. She's a phenomenal option if what you need is a more so offensive healer than a defensive healer. Third place obviously belongs to Karina. She is higher if you are running a dark team, okay? If you are running a dark team, Ascended Karina is rank 1 by a long shot, right? She provides a 5% HP recovery on enemy kill, but the better part is a 46% dark attack party buff. Her normal attack just is generic. It damages enemies and heals allies. However, you will notice there's something different about her than other healers. She does not use the heal stat. She heals based off of damage. The more damage she does, the more she'll heal your party. So heal stat is completely useless for her. It does not do anything. It does not increase her heals. It simply does nothing. So don't try to get a heal stat accessories or items on her. It's not going to do anything. Simply go for damage. And her second ability, Summon Charlotte, you don't have to worry about it. Her chain skill is inflicts 325% of DPS as range damage to the target and nearby enemies. Restores all allies HP. Once again, this is all damage based. Her special ability is when HP hits 0, recovers 40% of HP instantly. 60 seconds cooldown. It's just a mini, get out of jail free card when she's about to die. Her base kit is phenomenal for running her in a dark team. The reason why she works best in a dark team, like I said, she's not that generic because of her party buff. It's a 46% dark attack buff, meaning if you're going to be running her, in example for, let's say, a light team, you're not going to be getting the best usage out of her because her party buff's pretty much going to be wasted, right? That's where generic comes in. Her exclusive weapon is actually really, really nice to have, as it provides her with a lot of stats, in addition to Giant Vampire Bat's damage increased by 100% and a penetrating ability is added. This is quite important, as her kit, she can use weapon skills while not being the lead. okay, due to her ascension abilities. This means every droplet of damage that you can, the reason I say droplet is because she's a vampire, get it? Anyways, bad joke. But every bit of damage you can get in her is super important because it's going to be more damage, obviously, and more heals. Her kit's phenomenal. However, once again, as it's not generic, and her biggest issue is that it's not a newbie-friendly investment. Meaning that for a new player, you don't want to invest in an Ascended Karina or any Ascended hero for that matter because she doesn't unlock the training room requirements. You want to go for 2 max limit broken unique heroes. That means natural 3-star heroes first, because otherwise you're not going to have that requirement unlocked. And once you get that requirement unlocked, you'll essentially always have a free max limit broken character every 24 hours if you're switching them out. But yeah, solid character, but limited to dark and not the greatest beginner investment. However, she is really good in terms of return. She transitions super well into all contents in the game, considering the fact that she's not a purely defensive healer. 4th and 5th slots are actually really, really wonky because they're mainly rares. I'm going to be excluding characters like Eleanor, stuff like that. Other healers, pure healers, mind you, that also provide offensive buffs, but to only one archetype, because they're not really newbie friendly. Like, as a new player, if you get Eleanor, Gabriel, MK99, Future Princess, that's a damn good team. That's nasty, though. But the issue is, if you don't get those other 3 and you're running, like, who knows, like Eleanor, Claude, Garam, and freaking Elvira, it's a horrible team. And it's not going to work with Eleanor. She's not going to do half of what she would do on a light team. I'm mainly covering generic healers because they provide more value and they're easier to use. Karina, Dark, is easily the best type in the game, and you can actually use her perfectly fine considering that some of the best characters in the game are Darks. And she's not as bound as Eleanor. Most of Eleanor's utility comes from being with Light. Karina gets most optimal utility while being with Darks, but even without it, it's quite a strong healer. 4th place is going to go to Lorraine with EX. With EX, Lorraine is 4th place. Without EX, Aoba's 4th place, okay? And the reason is, Lorraine's main weakness with her healing is going to be that it's really short and tight ranged. Meaning it can't cover the full team consistently. It's not really that area intensive. It's really short. However, her EX weapon solves that problem and grants her a pretty unique ability for a healer, and that's overshielding. And it also increases her AoE heals range. Once she heals beyond a certain point, which is your maximum health, that heal will be converted into a shield. This is where it becomes really important to have this, because it means that beyond heals that would just do nothing and would just pretty much be wasted, you're now getting shields. It further increases your team's tankiness and survivability. However, that is really EX dependent, and her party buff is pretty bad. It's a 36% shield increase on battle start. It's not the greatest, but it's not that bad, really, if you think about it. It's nice for survivability. However, outside of that, it's nothing special. Next up is Aoba. Aoba is just generic healer that's more so inclined with earth than generic. She's not bad. I'm not going to cover it too in depth because you really want to replace her as fast as you possibly can, unless you're running earth, and even then you want to replace her once you start progressing to world 10 and 11 and beyond that, because she doesn't have an ascension form. She honestly might get one, but it's not worth rare hero investments post that unless you're doing raid, and even then just don't bother with them. However, there are 3 good ones, like I've said before. Karina, Craig, those are the best ones. Elvira is kind of optional, but Craig and Karina are the best investments in terms of rare heroes. She provides a 45% earth attack buff. You don't need her EX. I'm going to make this really brief. You don't need her EX, but it is nice. It only increases her healing by a bit. It's chance healing too, so sometimes it'll increase her healing by quite a lot. Sometimes it won't even do much at all. However, her special ability's pretty mediocre. It's so chance based. She has a generic healer chain skill. I mean, it's nothing special. It's a 50% party heal, 50% party heal based off of her heal stat, and removes negative effects. Nothing special, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope you all found that helpful. If you did and you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, comment your thoughts, and make sure to join the community Discord. And yeah, that'll be it. I hope you all enjoy. See ya.